Hey guys, and welcome to another Premier League update. Today we have mostly transfers for you guys. So, starting off for transfers, we have Juan Cuadrado. He was obviously at loan at Juventus last season, and new Chelsea manager Antonio Conte said that he wants Cuadrado to stay at Chelsea, so he won't be going anywhere else on loan.
I think that's
He'll
a
stay.
good choice by him. It gives a little bit of decent
Yeah,
competition for Willian, and even maybe Hazard on the left if he's like invisible for a few weeks or whatever.
or
Yeah.
maybe even Mahrez, who knows?
Yeah.
And also, he had a fantastic season with the Italian champions last year. So
Right.
I think it'll be interesting to say because when he signed for Chelsea, he didn't really have the
Wait, yeah.
greatest
Did
of
did he not
seasons.
have the greatest of seasons, or did he not get a chance? Because I
He
don't even
probably
remember seeing him play.
he didn't get too much chances. I don't really think I watch him play either. I'm
No,
not a
I didn't
Chelsea
see a
fan. I wouldn't
second
know
of him
too
playing,
much.
and I don't remember hearing about him playing or anything. So I don't know how much of a chance he
Right.
got.
I think they signed him for like a backup to Willian, and that's wasn't what he was looking for.
Right. Right. Maybe they just wanted to beef up his skills. I mean, he seems like he's gotten better since going to Juventus. We're hearing about him a little bit more. We're seeing a lot more highlights, or at least I am.
Yeah, I am too.
So yeah.
And of course, a good one for FIFA.
Yeah, of course.
Next one is a weird one, and this like just randomly came out sometime last night. Liverpool are set to complete the signing of Ragnar Klavan, who's an Estonian center back, and I think it's Augsburg he plays for. If I'm wrong, I'm going to be really embarrassed. But there was like no rumors about it, and it could be announced. Like Liverpool could have announced it on their Twitter by the time we're recording this, and I wouldn't know because I don't have Liverpool on Twitter. But they could, and
It's a
which
weird transfer.
yeah, and to me, like he'd be like a fifth choice center back, fourth choice,
Yeah.
because like they have maybe he's like a backup replacement for Skirtle, but that's all I could think of. Besides that, I really don't think the signing makes many sense.
I don't know.
So next up, we have Musa Sissoko. He impressed during the Euros, especially the Euro final. He was the best player for France. Today, he's linked to Crystal Palace, who are reportedly interested in him. He used to work under current Palace boss Alan Pardew, and the only thing that puts Crystal Palace off a bit is the price tag of 30 million for him.
It's a lot for
Yeah,
somebody who was on a relegation side and didn't start. I didn't hear too much about him until the Euros. So I mean,
right.
he could be
If
a bust at some point.
if he was worth 30 million, then I think he should have done more in keeping Newcastle up, of
Right.
course.
Same with Wijnaldum as well.
Mm-hmm. And next we have Marcelo Brozovic, the Croatian midfielder for Inter Milan, reportedly drawing interest from both Liverpool and Arsenal. I think this is exactly the type of player I'd expect Liverpool to get linked with. I don't know why, but it just makes sense that they're linked with him. They might have been linked with him before, but I don't really understand Arsenal, and
Uh,
I don't think Arsenal fans would be too happy because they're out here trying to get a world-class striker, and Wenger's trying to get
Signing a Japanese
Brozovic.
striker and this guy,
Yeah,
and I feel like their midfield is one where it's like you hear about Ozil, you hear about Cazorla, you hear about Walcott, you hear about Oxlade, but then and Coughlin, but you don't really hear too much about Art Rosicky. You don't hear much about from the Arsenal fans. You hear about Campbell, but he doesn't play too much from what I see. So I mean, it's a place where I don't feel like he would get a lot of play time behind everybody else, which would be a dumb move for his career unless he's getting a lot of money and money really.
right. So next up is more Arsenal, and that is Laurent Koscielny linked to FC Bayern.
Oh
Now, I've
my.
seen this rumor before in the past couple of weeks, and to me, it would be stupid for both Arsenal and Koscielny. Koscielny's definitely in the top three best center backs in the league. There's no doubt
No
about
doubt.
that. He's a brilliant defender. He's great on the ball. He's very important for both the French national team and Arsenal. And for one, Arsenal losing him, that would be devastating because they already need another center back as is.
Yeah.
And for two, it'd be stupid for Koscielny because who's going to want to go to a place and back up Mats Hummels and Jerome Boateng?
Right. And even if he does that, even um, he goes and backs up those guys, and then he puts himself at risk of missing out on the World Cup because he's not getting enough game time. Similar to like this is one that sticks with me, but like Kevin Morales missing out on the Euros because he barely got any playing time at Everton. So it's something that he's really got to think about. I think that's a dumb move for him completely.
Yeah, like I could just easily see him falling off the radar.
Exactly.
So next we have, this is one that we talked about in yesterday's episode, so I'm not going to go too much in depth. Matic to Juventus is still linked. Still looks possible to happen. No fee has been mentioned. Player looks keen on the move. Short and sweet. Next we have Kostas Manolas, the center back for Roma, who has been linked to multiple Premier League clubs all summer, like Chelsea, Arsenal, and Manchester United. And I think this is more about him just transferring to any of those three, because this is reportedly, and yesterday or the day before his training session, he had like a training session fight or argument with Roma teammate Kevin Strootman, because he thought that Strootman wasn't working hard enough in training and he wanted him to like work harder. And so they had a bust up, and that probably happens a lot more times between teammates in European clubs, and we just don't hear about it.
Right. Yeah, we're not all in the training ground at all times.
Right.
And
But
that could mean one of two things. That can mean he's an outstanding leader and he took it a little bit too far. That can mean he's a big hothead who's always like bullying his teammates,
Right.
Actually, three things. It could also mean he really wants out of the club and he's frustrated with what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And wherever he goes, it will be a lucky team. He's a fantastic defender for sure.
He would be one of the best defenders in the league by far.
Easily.
He would easily be in the starting 11 of every
wherever he goes.
Right.
Next up, I think this is important to hear about for you. And this isn't really a rumor as much as it is close to being confirmed. And that is Diego Lopez of AC Milan going to Chelsea. Don't know if you've heard about that.
So basically that means they open the door for Begovic to leave, right?
Yeah, to go to Everton. That's what I've been hearing every time.
That's huge.
Yeah,
we need a keeper. I think oh my god.
So
Begovic, please.
So I think by hearing that automatically comes to my mind that I think that basically confirms that Begovic is off to Everton.
Well, it can mean he's off to anywhere, but hopefully
anywhere. But I haven't seen him linked anywhere.
I haven't heard him any links to Everton in a long time though. So hopefully that's something that we're just not hearing about, and it's behind closed doors and all that. Because Everton's we're really really secretive with our front office. It's like no transparency at all. We're always hearing rumors, but you never know if they're even close to true. So
right.
I don't know. Here's to hoping.
So next is Inter's Mauro Icardi, linked to Arsenal again. Wenger's trying to sign another world-class striker. Apparently, Inter have opened the door for him to start negotiations with the club. But also, maybe 5 to 10 minutes before we got to recording this episode, I saw on Twitter that his agent, who I'm pretty sure is his wife, I could be wrong, said that both Juventus and Napoli are interested in him. And personally, I don't know where he'd go. Like, all of those moves make sense. Going to Arsenal, they desperately need a world-class striker.
Oh, of course, but with Juventus, they already have 2.5 world-class strikers. Dybala and Morata. Well, Morata just left. I lie.
Yeah.
So they have Mandzukic as well. So I mean,
Mandzukic is off to West Ham. Most
really?
likely. Yeah.
Okay. Well, do they play two strikers? Because I'm not really sure what their tactics are. But I mean, still,
yeah, they did play two strikers, so they could work in Morata.
Right. I think that would if that's the case, then that's definitely something that
right.
Consider because.
And then Napoli will need a replacement for Higuain, who looks like he's leaving. It's just a question of where.
Right.
And next we have the right back from Monaco, and that is Fabinho, today linked to what like what the articles and what his agent or whatever they're saying is that he's linked to European clubs. No clubs have been named. I'd be willing to put money on it that one of those clubs is Manchester United. This isn't the first time we've been interested in him. Around a month ago, I made my starting 11 predictions. It was before the Pogba talks even started, and I put Fabinho in there because we were linked to him, and I think he's a fantastic player. So I think we could very well get him, but from when he was linked at that time, his price was 15 million, and now it's doubled to 30 million. But if we're paying 100 million for Pogba, I don't think 15 million extra pounds should put us off. I think it's a very possible move, and I think it'd be good for the club.
Definitely.
And yeah, and next we have Riyad Mahrez linked to Chelsea. I can't remember if we mentioned it in yesterday's episode. I'm pretty sure we did. Of course, he's rejected a £100,000 a week contract from Claudio Ranieri's Leicester, who, of course, he was a big part to them winning the title. And I remember Arsenal were linked a while ago when they were trying to get Vardy, and now Chelsea are linked, and I do see him leaving, and at the moment I can't see him going anywhere else besides Chelsea.
Right. I think with what looks like Costa leaving, he's heading through the exit door. I think that opens the door for Mahrez to definitely challenge for a starting spot. I know he's capable of playing at striker. I don't know how comfortable he is with it, but it's definitely a possibility. You never know. I think he'd be a good fit.
Yeah, and thinking about that it's kind of scary. Chelsea getting both N'Golo Kante and Mahrez.
Right.
They
That definitely
basically,
puts them in title contention, in
yeah,
my opinion.
they're buying the 2015-2016 Premier League title.
Right.
Last but not least is Gonzalo Higuain. Arsenal were interested, but I'm pretty sure they've just turned off all interest. I don't know. But
Right.
apparently they're turned off by his £80 million asking price from Napoli, which I honestly don't think that's like overpaying for
I
him.
think it is. He's not. I don't think he has room to grow for too long. I think he's like nearing the part where it's like, okay, you need to start preparing for obviously he had the best season of his career, but it's not like he's 22, 23, 24. That's a lot of money for somebody who's nearing the end of their prime, you know?
Right. But I guess what I was thinking about is because everybody's saying, oh, United's overpaying for Pogba, United's overpaying for this, for that. But
Well,
if you
Pogba's a
think
very young
about it,
player.
yeah, but and this isn't about Pogba, and this is just about transfers in general. People always use the word overpaying, but no club is going to sell a player for the price that everybody thinks they should go for. They're going to try to get as much money as they can.
Yeah,
I
obviously.
don't think any transfer, there are probably a small select few, but there are barely any transfers where you're not overpaying for the player.
Right, and when you look at the prices for players completely, Pogba for 100 million is nothing. You look at Wijnaldum for 30 million. You look at Witsel for 30 million. Would I say Pogba's
Sterling for
three?
50 million.
Right. Would I say Pogba's twice the player that Sterling is? Of course I would. Would I say he's three times the player Wijnaldum is? Of course I would. So I mean, is it really overpaying? I don't really know. It's a lot of
Right.
money for sure, but maybe that's what he's worth.
Mhm. So that's going to wrap it up for the Premier League updates and transfers. If you're interested, tune in. We will soon have a Evertonians update, which is our little collaboration of Everton and Manchester United, considering we both support one of those clubs. And we're just going to mull over some of the transfer rumors, some of the news that are coming out of our clubs. So if you want to go watch that after you watch this, then you sure can. Thanks for listening. Let us know in the comments who you think's going to transfer and who you think will stay. And thank you for listening.
Have a good one, guys.